Yep, no matter which window I look out, it's still cloudy and raining.
Did you say we're going to go for some shopping today because it's raining? It's going to be a shopping and wine tasting day.
Sure. Shopping, wine tasting. We can do that.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Our Venturesome Journey. In this episode, we cover the first half of our travels throughout the state of Wisconsin, which included stops in Osseo, Baraboo, Linden Station, and New Berlin, Wisconsin. From Victoria, Minnesota, we traveled approximately 200 miles to Osseo. Our single-night parking lot stay was at Foster's Fireside Restaurant, a Harvest Host location. Foster's Fireside is locally owned and operated, and as stated on their elevated sign, they also have a cheese shop attached to the restaurant. The next morning, we traveled approximately 125 miles to our next Harvest Host location, Tumbled Rock Brewing. Tumbled Rock has parking available for several rigs across the street from the brewery. This perfect location, just steps away from Devil's Lake State Park, prompted us to extend our stay to a second night. A short 10-minute walk from our parking spot at Tumbled Rock Brewing took us to the entrance of Devil's Lake State Park, Wisconsin's most visited state park. On our first morning visiting Devil's Lake State Park, we walked the railroad track from the North Shore Beach, approximately 1.3 miles, to the Devil's Doorway Loop trailhead. The Devil's Doorway Loop is 2 miles in length with an elevation gain of 508 feet. It's rated as difficult. It is renowned for its breathtaking views and impressive rock formations, and offers numerous picturesque overlooks of the glistening blue lake below. We took advantage of our second night stay at Tumbled Rock Brewing with an early morning paddleboard on Devil's Lake. Following our morning paddle, we packed up and traveled just 25 miles north to Yukon Trails Campground in Linden Station, Wisconsin. The weather was hot and humid, but we covered up head to toe to combat the active mosquito season. This didn't stop us from loading up the boards for a day of paddling on nearby Mirror Lake.
Can't forget life vests.
And snacks and bug spray from Wisconsin.
After a morning of paddleboarding, we drove from Mirror Lake State Park just a few miles to Ishnala, one of Wisconsin's most noteworthy supper clubs, which overlooks Mirror Lake. A visit to Ishnala wouldn't be complete without indulging in their great food and famous old fashions. Brandy or bourbon, the choice is yours. About 10 miles north of Linden Station is the city of Mauston, Wisconsin, where we spent an afternoon exploring.
Let's find a brewery.
We must. It's fine.
While checking out the downtown area, we stumbled upon Gravity Box Brewing. Locally owned, this welcoming brewery and taproom is a gem in the picturesque downtown Mauston area. We enjoyed really good beer, food, and conversation with the bartender, as well as local patrons. Following our stay in Linden Station, we drove approximately 100 miles southeast to New Berlin, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee. We'll spend several days visiting here with family and friends. Thanks, Sis, for letting us mooch dock on your property. We really appreciate it. Join us on our next video as we travel further north to Wisconsin's Door Peninsula, home to beautiful beaches, wineries, and breweries. Along the way, we also visit Green Bay for Packer Training Camp. Thanks again for checking in, and hope to see you soon.